Welcome to the AI Chat Podcast. I'm your host, Jaden Schaefer. Every day, I bring you breaking AI news, diving into the implications it has in your life and business. If you're interested in sponsoring the podcast and getting your company in front of thousands of AI enthusiasts every day, there's an email in the description. Finally, make sure you are on the waitlist for the AI Box platform, a tool we are building to allow you to automate virtually any task with AI tools. Find it at aibox.ai. Have you ever wanted to start your own podcast? I record and publish podcasts on a platform called Spotify for Podcasters, and I absolutely love it. Essentially, you can upload from your phone or computer, and it distributes to every platform that plays podcasts. They support video podcasts, and you can make money on the platform with ads or even podcast subscriptions, something that has made my life so much easier as a podcaster. So if you're interested, I highly recommend you give it a try. You can download the Spotify for Podcast app, or go to spotify.com/podcasters to get started on your podcast today. If you've seen the headlines lately, you'll know that recently Hollywood has completely went on strike. A whole bunch of major, blockbuster successes have been completely put on pause because Hollywood is on strike due to a number of things. They want more money and that kind of stuff. But one of the big concerns is AI specifically, and they're worried how AI is going to be affecting their industry. So today on the podcast, we're going to be jumping into what exactly is happening, what their demands are, and where we see this going in the future. All of this recently kind of came to a head with a big press conference they just held, where essentially a bunch of Hollywood actors confirmed their decision to go on strike. And in this whole press conference, of course, it was highly anticipated. There was a lot of tension. But this is from the Alliance of Motion Pictures and Television Producers, and that seems... this whole thing seems to feel like it's kind of straight out of a, Black Mirror episode or something. But essentially, Duncan Crabtree, Ireland, he's their chief negotiator. He didn't waste any time in dismantling the so-called groundbreaking AI proposal during his whole announcement, which was a proposal that was recently made. And the statement which accompanied the proposal claimed to offer actors a revolutionary solution to protect their digital likenesses. But Crabtree, Ireland responded with a, I would say, pretty scathing critique. He said, "If you think that's a groundbreaking proposal, I suggest you think again." So according to his kind of side of the story during the whole press conference, the proposal that he got suggested that background performers could be scanned and then compensated for a single day's work, and then subsequently would have their image and likeness owned by the production company indefinitely. And the company could use these digital replicas on any project with or without consent or compensation from the original performer. So this is what Crabtree, Ireland did not like with this, about this whole situation and the whole proposal. And so I think this resonated a lot with his audience. So there's like that side of it, but I think overall their whole demands that they're currently making are really focusing on not letting AI replace them, which I think it's tricky because they're all striking right now. We have the Writers Guild that has been striking for a number of months, and all of them are kind of hinging on this thing where they say, like, we want guarantees that no AI will ever replace our job, which is kind of tricky. And when they're striking, it's honestly like the worst time, because I feel like that's the time that it's most likely that they will be replaced, right? If there's no actors or if there's no writers, I feel like that's the time that companies are like, okay, well, I guess we have to just pedal to the metal, figure out how this whole AI thing works and replace them immediately because, I think that it'll be interesting to see if this happens. Of course, historically, this has always been a risk with strikes. Back in a long, long time ago when groups would strike, they would often just bring in cheap laborers from Ireland or from some other country to kind of fill in the gap of the striking workers, and then the striking workers would be permanently out, and there'd be like this whole ordeal. So what I almost wonder is if, this whole thing happening right now with striking, because they're worried about AI, is going to inevitably lead to AI's adoption faster in their industry. So it's kind of interesting. I think that in response to the SAG-AFTRA's allegations, AMPTP spokesperson Scott Rowley issued a statement pretty quick after that. He denied claims made during the press conference. He said, "The claims made today by the AFTRA leadership that the digital replicas of background actors may be used in perpetuity with no consent or compensation is false." He also emphasized that the current PTP proposal only granted permission for the use of a background actor's digital replica within the specific movie that they were employed for. So any other usage would require the background editor's consent, accompanied by negotiations and a minimum payment. So this is kind of interesting, right? They're arguing about this right now. They're saying like there's this new thing where they want to scan every actor and be able to replicate them with AI, and they'll just use it forever. And it's, the actors aren't going to get paid for it. And then, the people putting forth this contract are saying, no, we just want to be able to scan them and use their AI likeness inside of the film, essentially, and anything else would be extra. I think the heated negotiations between the two parties have really been plagued by the contentious issue of generative AI, which has been a significant factor behind the ongoing writer's strike. SAG-AFTRA's president, Fran Destre, opened the press conference with a pretty poignant statement, a warning pretty much. She said, "If we don't stand tall right now, we're all going to be in trouble. We are all going to be in jeopardy of being replaced by machines." Now, end quote. So I think the fear of being replaced by automated counterparts is something a lot of actors and actresses are worried about. It's something that's really just kind of looming over the industry at the moment. And I think that this is kind of intensifying the resolve of a lot of the striking actors, to be honest. So I think as the clock kind of, you could say, ticks closer to midnight, the strike is set to officially start. The outcome of this, I think, is undoubtedly going to shape the future of Hollywood, and I think really the delicate balance between human talent and emerging technologies. I think what's really interesting with this whole ordeal right now is that more than 170,000 Hollywood actors and writers have gone on strike due to, the demands that AI is not going to replace their job. They're also asking for increased pay and work guarantees and that kind of thing, but I think AI is a really big part of this. This strike actually impacts a lot of major studios, including Disney, Netflix, Amazon, and Sony. And what's interesting is, some of the headline movies that are being affected by this are Beetlejuice 2, Deadpool 3, Gladiator 2, Mortal Kombat 2, Venom 3, and a lot of others. And what's interesting is there's actually been support from some fairly large actors and actresses. You have George Clooney, Matt Damon, Robert Downey Jr., Emily Blunt, Margaret Robbie, Florence Pugh, Jason Sudeikis, and also Susan Sarandon, who are all supporting the strike, essentially. But this isn't without, some repercussions. A lot of different industry experts are warning that a long-term strike is going to significantly impact the entire industry. Like, movies won't be able to come out, and there's going to be a lot of different issues that arise from that. So I think this is a really interesting area to continue to follow. But I'd love to hear if you have an opinion on this. Should these actors be striking? Is this a serious issue? If you want to, give us feedback on this, make sure to join our Facebook group or our Discord channel, and you can let us know your thoughts. Those are both linked in the description of the podcast. But anyways, this is an area we'll definitely be following, and I'll give you updates as we get them on this ongoing strike and how we think AI is going to impact Hollywood, entertainment, and the movie industry overall.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. That's the sound of switching your business to Shopify, the global commerce platform that supercharges your selling. Harness the best converting checkout and same intuitive features, trusted apps, and powerful analytics used by the world's leading brands. Stop leaving sales on the table. Discover why millions trust Shopify to build, grow, and run their business. Sign up today for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/tech23.
Thank you for listening to the AI Chat podcast. If you enjoyed this podcast, I'd appreciate it if you rate us wherever you listen to your podcast. And if you're looking for an innovative group of AI enthusiasts, make sure to check out our Discord channel and Facebook community. It's obviously a lot more interactive than a podcast where we can share software, tools, and prompts we're using in AI every day. I'll leave a link for those in the description below.